Welcome back. Thanks again for watching. This is your weekly update for Friday, October 18th, 2019. Now, the next time you come over to the nursery, it may look a little barren. Winter's on its way, so it's time for us to start putting plants away. Behind me is one of our sales yard areas, which has no more plants in it, unfortunately. You may wonder, what exactly do you guys do with all these plants? Why don't you clearance them at the end of the season? Why don't you want to get rid of them? It's because we have a bunch of winter storage huts. Behind me on the other side, all the way down there, we have all of those huts where we store these for the winter. There's about 10 greenhouses back here. We pack them full. Then we'll cover them with a 3 mil plastic for winter. It takes a small army of us to do this and a bunch of tractors. Some of these greenhouses are 8 to 10 feet tall, so we need the tractor bucket to get up there and get all the way up to the top. And more towards the back of the property, we will store our perennials and clematis back here. These perennials were planted later in the summer for early spring sales, and the clematis are hiding under the tables. And then moved from smaller 4-inch pots to our trade 1.5 gallon pots are the evergreen azaleas, which we propagate and grow right here at the nursery. Those are in here for winter storage until next spring as well. And here's a very sad look at our empty perennial greenhouse. Most everything has been put away for winter, but this space will be turned into our Santa's workshop, where we create a lot of cemetery decorations, wreaths, and such. And the panels on the east side of our Cravo house are being replaced with new Lexan. Each panel is being spaced and then cut. You may not know this, but those panels right there in the middle, the roll down, and the roof of this greenhouse can all be closed at just a touch of a button. It's quite convenient because in the spring, when you have a bunch of frost-sensitive plants, you can just close it up and they'll be safe overnight. I have moved over to our pollinator garden here near the owl barn. I am standing in front of the Hairy Balls milkweed plant. It's actually still doing pretty well. The past few nights we've had a light frost, so it's still looking pretty good. But we're here to tell you how to collect seeds from it, which is about time. The one behind me actually is probably 90% of the seed pods are not ready to harvest, but we were able to find a few so we could show you how to do it. Once the seed pods start to darken, it is time to check on them. To begin, just break open the seed pod with your hands or a sharp knife. This is an example of a seed pod that is not ready to harvest, as the seeds inside are still white. The following photos will give you examples of seed pods that are ready to harvest. They suggest to bring the seed pods indoors out of the wind to harvest. Just pick out the dark seeds and discard the rest of the seed pod. From just this one seed pod, we were able to gather 12 seeds. You can store the seeds in a jar or bag, then direct sow into the ground or in a container after the threat of frost has passed, which is usually around May 15th here in Northeast Ohio. Now, of course, as always, we sincerely appreciate you buying these plants from us usually in early June, but the seeds are pretty easy to gather. And last but not least, this week, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Juve and Oriole, who are here on the H-2A visa program from Mexico. Now, this may be a controversial topic to some, but here at Dayton's, we've always been honest and open with the things we do. Using the visa program is one of the best things we've ever done. They are the great workers. They are very polite. They're just great to work with. As I'm sure you can imagine, finding seasonal labor, people that would only work 6.5 to 7 months per year, is difficult, especially here in America. So that's why we had to go to the visa program, but it definitely has been very good for us. Okay, so that'll be it for this week. We hope you join us again next week and hope to see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.